Good morning. Happy solstice. One of the most important days of my calendar because today's the longest night. And tomorrow, the days will start getting longer by a few seconds each day until in spring and early summer we're up to getting longer by several minutes a day. And until we get to the solstice in June. But today, I'm in the goat pen, and we're going to do some work in here. So I'm in here with Miss Bambi, Storm, Miss Esmeralda, and this used to be a garden space, and then these girls fell in my lap, and so since I had to decommission the garden because it had root knot nematodes, I put the girls in here. And this, before it was a garden, it was a chicken pen, and then it was a garden, and then it was a chicken pen again, and then it was a garden again, and now it's been a goat pen for about 18 months or so. So this little shed thing had been given to me years ago. It had originally housed a 4-H lamb, and I used it with modifications as a little chicken house, but I never got around to putting any metal or anything on the roof, which is just, you can see just some chipboard, and that's disintegrated in the weather. I did try to keep a tarp and put some feed sacks and stuff over it, but it's disintegrating. And I was in here the other day, and I took part of it apart, but some of it's put together with some deck screws that I don't have the right bit for, and I got really frustrated, and I just said, you know what, never mind. We're just going to get the Sawzall. So that's what I'm going to work on this morning is cutting this apart with my Sawzall and getting it out of here because I want to do some work and some modifications in this pen. All right, so we've gotten most of this little shed out of here, and you can see that we have a huge amount of pack in here, which is fine because once the goats are out of here, we're going to be a garden again. My concern is that it's going to take quite a lot before we can get the barn finished up on the hill. And in the meantime, this back fence is really leaning. It used to be right next to that T-post right there. So you can see that we've got a lot of work to do to get this dug out and straightened up. I'm just afraid one of these days the girls are going to climb up on that fence and land in the creek. So we're going to see what we can do about shoveling some of this out and pulling these fence panels back up. And then my other plan, because Miss Esmeralda there is due the end of January, and this is the week before Christmas, we need to have some more shelter for her to kid in and a way to separate her from Bambi there, who is a big bully. So we're going to probably put in a row of little pallet houses back there, and I'll figure out some way to block off a corner or something for Esmeralda when she kids. that I got some of that stuff cleared out on the inside of the pen, I had come out here and moved some junk out here on the outside, at this corner where that goat pen meets the perimeter fence, along the driveway. I've Digger in his pen with a stuffed hoof to keep him out of trouble and to keep him from trying to get out through this way. So we're going to move some stuff around, move some junk, and see if we can get these panels straightened up a little bit. I think I'm going to stop here. I got that end and that corner up there wired up pretty good. Put in that extra panel to make that corner more square. Not perfect, but we're better. I kind of raised up this end of the end panel. I wouldn't mind seeing if I can raise it up a little bit more, get it more level before I pull these back panels up. We'll see if I can manage that. I want to call it quits for today. I'm getting tired, and it's going to be time to do chores here in a little bit. And I was really bad and didn't wash dishes last night, so I need to go in the house and do that. I don't think I can get out too easy there. It's hard to see on the camera screen, but there is a bunch of chicken wire and stuff right there, so it's not like it's open all the way down. I don't want to take these two apart to move that one, because then we would have a gap, and Miss Storm, and especially Miss Esmeralda, will just take huge advantage of that and go walkabout. Won't you, Storm? And so I got to work tomorrow, so it'll probably be Friday. I'll probably be back on this on Friday. And maybe with another whole day, maybe I can get most of these panels pulled and straightened up and situated. So what I'm thinking about here is, once I get those fence panels stood up as straight as I can, I'm actually thinking about making some little pallet sheds along that back side. That will help keep the goats off the chain link panels. Hopefully help keep them from getting pushed over again like they are. And then at the same time, maybe down on that end, maybe I can put in just a little pallet fence along in here to make a smaller pen so that I have a place for Esmeralda when she kids. What do you think, Storm? Does that sound like a plan? We'll just have to make the pallet houses tall enough that Esmeralda doesn't decide to jump on top of them like she did Digger's house and break the tin. And I'm sure some of you are probably wondering, well, why don't you just put all this time and effort into your barn? Well, we'll talk about that. So that up there is the barn. And let's walk over here. It has a long ways to go before I can put goats up there. Not only that, I need to get up there and do some more erosion control and some fence fixing before it's going to be totally safe to move a whole bunch of goats up in there. And that is all going to take probably several hundred work hours before it's finished, before it's even anywhere near finished. So I do not have that many hours in a week, in a month, in the time that I have before we have baby goats. So we are just doing what we can do, what I can do, where I'm at with what I've got. So my morning started out doing chores in 26-degree weather, and we are finishing it off in front of a hot toasty fire with a cup of tea. I'm hoping that anybody that lives where it's getting really cold and you're having that dangerous cold storm come through, that y'all are snuggled up to a hot fire and staying safe and warm. Happy solstice.